Go. Hi, 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 Hugh.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello. I'm doing pretty swell.
You well? Swell.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. Why?
No, I just said because you said you're doing pretty well, and I know you always crack a joke. So I'm like, you
Right.
swell, you well.
Right. I drink from a well. Right. Right.
See, I told
I
you.
couldn't come up with a joke yet. I was drinking water.
I told you. You. Oh, hey Reggie, you always come up with something with a jokey wokey.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to hurry up. Wait a minute.
Hello. I got it on mute for right now. But I'm just saying hi.
Okay, Reggie, I know where you at. Waiting for sirens to go off. How you been?
I can't complain, man. Yourself?
Oh, I've been good, man. I've been good. I like when people say they can't complain. I be like, yes, you can. They be like, no, won't nobody listen. I'll tell you, go ahead, I'll listen.
But I'm gonna tell you why I say that because if I do complain, I might depress some people.
Ah! This look, you know, Reggie. This the good platform.
I ain't trying to do that. I mean, it's all good though. It's
Right.
Not nothing to
Right.
about.
But you know, number one, that's what we do. We encourage and motivate and people up here. So you already know. If you want to come up here and dump, come and dump.
Well, see, well, I'm not trying to dump and vent. No, I mean, I understand. Sometimes you want to do that just to get stuff out, but no, I'm good today. I'm smiling today.
Oh, well, cause you one of my favorites. So I know when people come up and you can wherever they at, you always have encouraging words to say. You get me? So
Yes,
so
sir.
that's why I'm like, you on the right platform to dump if you need to dump.
Look, I might have said this before. I don't know if I did or not, but God must have brought me to this platform because one night I was just looking through Instagram and I seen this, and I knew one of my friends was on here. I don't know her name on Instagram, but Astrid. I can't think of her name right now.
Astrid.
Right. But she was on here. I think we went to school together.
Okay.
Grew up together. And then so I said, well, let me check out. And I must have been brought here, man, because I wasn't even looking for this. So God must have brought me here.
Yeah, she's that's my baby too. She comes up and hit us off because she into wow, not holistic stuff, but she's into what is it, Reggie?
All natural. I mean, what do you mean?
I mean, she's spiritual. She's real spiritual.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of basically what it's called.
Is she a warlock?
No, she's not a warlock. You know who she is, Hugh. She comes up once in a while, but when she come in from time to time, she just come in and lay it down. But she's normally like, I forgot what it's called. Uh it's I'm just looking at it.
Medium?
No, not a medium.
A herbalist?
Not one of those. She's normally it's more spiritual. It's spiritual, but I'm trying to think of what it's called. She do like yoga, all that type of stuff. It's more along that line. You know, yeah, yeah. With it's based around spirituality. I love it. I love it.
And see, and I really haven't kept up with everybody from high school and who I grew up with. So I just see her like on Facebook.
Right.
So and we might say happy birthday or something like that. So I don't know totally what she's into, but I'm sure it's something good though.
Yeah, cause she's on Ricky platform. And Ricky is he's like a community activist. He's a circus speaker. He's a promoter. I mean, not a promoter, but one of those speakers that goes out and talk about positive stuff. So that's what Ricky is about, and she's over there. Uh, it was a lady that came up, and Astring and Well, she called Astring and a bunch of them a bunch of miserable Democrats.
What?
And I start calling them miserable Democrats because every time I open up my mouth, they drop me. Reggie, I say hi, boom. I said, y'all make me sick. I ain't saying nothing to y'all no more.
You can call them demo rats.
Right. But look, we ain't do nothing but bust out laughing. They be like, Steve, you coming up? I said, no, I'm tired of y'all dropping me on my head. I will stay down here. Ask her. She'll tell you. And then look, you know she got Muppets and stuff that she be playing with, right? And I pulled out my mannequin head, right? Oh my God. And she pulled out her thing as well.
Right. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Do y'all get a prompt? Or is it something where we're just talking?
No, we talk. Tell them what we talking about.
Stuff, can you make yourself bigger?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, because I was getting ready to move out the way for a minute. Can you see it a little bit? I tried to put it up there. It's about basically your morals. Morals. I'm gonna pull it up on my cheese, so that way I can read it off to you some. But it's about your moral compass and your moral standards as far as your character, your personality, right? That's what we gonna talk a little bit about today.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yeah, come on.
So what I'm gonna say is, I think half of this argument is kind of a fallacy. So, if you have strong moral character, and this is how I'm reading it, and I could be wrong. If you have strong moral character, that means you're just actually doing what your actions or what you're believing is. If you're a strong moral compass, you have a strong moral compass to see where you're going, but you're not actually effectuating anything. So there's something in life called intentions. We love people's intentions, but unfortunately, the world judges you on your consequences, not intentions. So, for example, somebody like Jimmy Carter, right? Jimmy Carter, a lot of people say, is one of the worst presidents in the United States. Why? Because of the Iran scandal. But Jimmy Carter entering this had a very, very strong moral compass, right? One of the greatest moral compasses of all time, which is why he wouldn't go into this the Iran hostage deal with just kill all the Iranians, right? So it's a situation where your intentions sometimes do not actuate into how you are looked at in the world. Sometimes you have long-running consequences that take away from your intentions. So you gotta fucking make a choice. Sorry for swearing, but you gotta make a choice and stand in business. All right. Another thing I'm gonna say is, like, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for everything.
Right.
You gotta stand on business. If you believe this is what you're gonna do, and you say, okay, and everybody else forgets you, whatever, you may have a strong moral compass. But guess what? Your consequences of your intentions didn't turn out that way.
Well, I would say, like, you have to stand on business, but it is okay to change your actions when you learn, like, new information. Like, you don't have to stand on business if you're wrong, right? So I'm just saying, like, if you learn something new, that you can revise your standing on the business.
Well, yeah. So that's what I mean by actually standing on business, right? So if you're standing on something, you realize, oh my God, this is a cardboard box, and what I'm standing on is just a false wall, and then you throw some water on it, it collapses. Then you're not standing on business. You stand on business is something where, like, okay, for example, I do not like redlining. I do not like crowing, right? And you can go with that, and then you can run up until the current zeitgeist, which is Trump. Go, okay, but we want this to be. So the idea is, if you're standing on this for something,
right,
your thing that you're standing on is concrete based on your beliefs. And if that's wrong,
right,
you're taking the risk to know that your intentions can lead to long-running consequences that can be negative. Because remember, I said the platform for Jimmy Carter, because Jimmy Carter didn't come up here trying to be like, oh my God, I'm the best. No, he just said, I'm not going to kill other people.
Unalive.
Sorry, I apologize. I'm not going to unalive other people. So his whole stance of doing that made him literally sunk down in the realms of presidency in the United States, because his choice to be a pacifist was not what was expected for his position at that time.
How old are you, Cheeseburger? How old are you?
Yes.
He's probably like 20s.
Well, reason why I'm saying that, because I know you probably wasn't around when Jimmy Carter was the president.
Mm-hmm. But
Right.
I wasn't alive when Martin Luther King was here. I was
Right.
alive when, what's his name? Who did Jackie Robinson go to testify against?
You talking about the baseball player, Jackie
Could he
Robinson?
go testify against?
I don't actually remember
yeah,
that. I probably was getting high during that time. But
Oh, yeah, very good.
Jackie
That goes to my
Robinson,
point.
Jackie
Even though
Robinson,
I was not,
if I'm
even
not
though I was not
mistaken,
alive.
wait a minute,
Wait,
wait a
jeez.
minute. Jackie Robinson, if I'm not mistaken, was he an Oreo? He was with the Oreos. He was with the Baltimore Oreos. Huh?
Oh, okay. Oh no, I thought you meant he likes to eat Oreos.
No. I'm asking Cheese. Jackie Robinson, if I'm not mistaken, was with the Oreos, the Baltimore Oreos, right? He was a baseball player. Cheese.
Oh, no, yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Me now? Oh, yeah, sorry. No, he's a Dodger, man. He's always been a Dodger.
All right, he's always been a Dodger. Jackie Robinson, baseball player, right?
Mr. Jackie Robinson, the Dodger. And
All
what
right.
I was trying to get at is he testified against another black man. And I'm going to say this black man is one of my favorite black men in all of American history, Paul Robeson. Right? So remember the trial, Jackie versus Paul Robeson?
No. And the reason why I'm saying this, because you talking about Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter's gone. And he passed away. But Jimmy Carter was for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And
I'm not disparaging Jimmy.
That's one thing I loved about Jimmy Carter. Bigger than a peanut. But that's one thing I loved about him. And he did Habitat for Humanity for the longest time. Why people don't talk about the great work as an individual that he was, whether he was president or not, he focused on the poor community and building back up in people's lives.
100%. But then you asked me a question.
I asked you because I asked you how old was you. You didn't give me an answer.
No. Before that,
I asked you after. Wait a minute. After you talked about Jimmy Carter, I asked you how old was you? Because
I am 36 years old.
Okay, the reason why I asked you, because Jimmy Carter hadn't been president. Well, you know what I mean, for the longest time, and just to bring him up, that's old school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have history in my bones. I wasn't just born in 1980.
Wait, what did you say?
He have history in his bones.
Oh, I thought he said his balls.
No, he said his bones.
No.
But I got you. I got you, Cheeseburger. Let me say this: the couch conversation show is about keeping it real, right? And I love when people come up and they can talk about themselves. That don't mean you have to have personal trauma or whatever. But you know, this is not one of your platforms that you come up on and you throw around your ideas and your opinions and all that type of stuff, because that's not how
That's not what I was trying to do. I was literally answering the questions as they were given to me.
Well,
you asked the question, and the first thing I answered was intention versus consequence.
All right, hold up. Let me tell you what the topic is. Okay. Basically, it's called Strong Moral Compass versus Strong Moral Character. So it's talking about you as an individual, not Jimmy Carter.
Not
Jimmy Carter. Yep, it's talking about the individual. right?
I will apologize. I did ask a question. What was the topic? And then it said strong moral. So I thought this was open ended to anything.
No.
Me personally.
No.
No, go again. Me personally, what do you want to know about me personally? I'll tell you.
Well, actually, look at my whole thing when you started talking, when it talks about strong moral compass, right? It's talking about the individual, you, right? And your standards about life, how you look at life, not based around nobody else's experiences. It's talking about cheeseburger, right? So I
don't think my opinion changed, because I said this originally. I said that I think a person with a strong moral compass but doesn't act on it, it doesn't matter. A person with a strong moral character but doesn't have a compass still doesn't matter. And then I gave the arguments, and my argument was a strong moral compass, Jimmy Carter, and why it didn't matter. I was about to give a strong moral account, and then we got into the Jimmy Carter debate. But that was my point. My point is, these are not mutually exclusive things.
Yes, they are. Because we talking about you as a human being, talking about you, right?
Exactly. Yeah, even me as a human being, to me, these are not mutually exclusive things. These are things that need to coexist in each other to make a cohesive whole. This is like a yin and yang situation. That's why there's a little bit of black in the white, and there's a little bit of white in the black. Right. Yin and yang. This is a situation where if you have a strong moral compass, but you have no moral character, then you're Jimmy in Breaking Bad. You're going to be a lawyer that does all the things for all the people because you know how to do all the other side. I know a lot of people like that with good, strong moral compasses. Each side, they go to church each day, but you know what? They defend the worst people because they're defense attorneys, and they get bank on doing it. It has nothing to do with them being a horrible, bad person, because now you've separated their moral character because they go to church. They pray to Jesus, and they go say, hallelujah. And now you're saying, hey, if I have a strong moral character, but I don't have a moral compass, then you're just a lost-ass motherfucker. I'm sorry. You're Duncan the Strong. You're Duncan the Strong. You're the person in that new show coming out, the Knights of Game of Thrones. I'm a nerd, so I do the Knights of the Seven Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
So you're a fool. You're a knight. No. Who's the guy that battled against Winfield? Quasimodo? You're Quasimodo. You're a strong moral character, right? You know what you are. I'm going to be a knight. I'm going to protect the innocent. But you have no literal idea of nuance that you will charge a windmill thinking that this is hurting something because a windmill fan knocked some lady off.
Let me ask you this. What about your morals, your values, your principles? Talking about you as an individual. What do you stand on?
Then I will say this. I think that you need a strong moral compass, and you also do need a strong moral character. And for me personally, this is what I bank on. Listening. I think a lot of times we do not even me. I talk a lot. I've over-talked to you. I've interrupted you. I've been in this position where I do not listen. Listening is literally the aspect of humility that gets you forward. Because listening doesn't take anything but just being quiet. Listening, that doesn't make you a strong moral compass. That doesn't make you a strong moral character. But that gives you the ebb and flow of understanding. Just listen. Now, what gives you be a good person, like me, myself, to be a good person? Right now, not just listening to my wants and nots, but then now narrowing the in-between and going, hey, I have a sister, I have a brother that need this. I have a mother that needs this. I have a special needs person that needs this. I have a significant other that needs this. I'm listening to all their worries. I'm also listening to all my selfish wants as well. How is my emotional intelligence coming to be like, okay, how do I encounter each of these ones? One, listening. Second one, emotional intelligence to figure out how you react to what you listen to. Because sometimes you can hear things that could knock you over. And you could be like, oh my God, that's... But the emotional intelligence to realize this is how I'm going to react. Okay, this is how I'm reacting. This is the anger. This is super anger. So before I broke up with my ex, she literally came down, we sat down, we had a conversation. She said, I cheated on you. And I said, wow. I was angry as fuck. I said, wow. When I said I was angry as fuck, my physical is me jumping up, moving the table over, going, what the fuck? This shit's horrible, all that fucking shit. It wasn't just me sitting there going, I'm angry as fuck, I'm zen. No, I was fucking pissed off. I was pushing shit around going, fuck you mean you cheated on me this shit? And then it wasn't until I realized, hey, this is outside you. This is a mechanism that she chose to walk down because she wasn't happy about something in our relationship. Right? Something that maybe she didn't address or I didn't address, regardless of how it happened, it's something that this was an action she chose to do. So now my action with a strong moral compass and a strong moral character, after flipping the desk over, going, oh, fuck this, bitch, you're a whore, this and this and this, is to realize that's wrong. What the right thing should have been is like, hey, what is your value to me as a person? Let me recognize that hurt. My emotional intelligence, let me recognize what that feels to me, how much you've taken away from my years, and then let me come back to you in some kind of words. Not actions, not pushing the chair over, not saying you're a bitch, not saying you're a whore, not saying you ruined my life. The thing that I'm going to say is it takes time for that kind of thing to come to balance or into frame, right? You're not going to do it in the moment. And some people persecute themselves because they're not going to do it in the moment. And you know what? Some people do it in the moment. The main thing is to realize it and say, you know what? My character now is I've been hit with this tidal wave. That's a tidal wave. How do I rebuild? How do I come back and reform?
All right.
I'm listening. Did you stay there?
No, I didn't stay there. Of course, it's not. Relationships are built on trust, right? If your trust is broken, then there's no more relationship. I don't care if you love the person. If you don't have that, if you still have that trust, that's you and her. You can do that together. For me, I don't have that trust. So in a situation where you're pitting my moral compass against my moral character, you will never win.
There you go.
Because in this situation, my moral compass is telling me this. And my moral compass, my moral character is telling me you're within your rights to be like yelling at her name and calling her out her name. But that's not what a good man should do. So your moral compass is pulling you and going, hey, I don't want you to be doing this. Be nicer, be doing this. So the situation, these things are not mutually exclusive. They have to be taken together. And sometimes one is made more than the other. That doesn't mean one is overriding the other. It just, you need to get to a point of balance.
Right.
And then once you get to that point, then you can move forward. At that time, boy, hell child, man, I knocked over things. I called her a whore. I called this. I said, I'm going to call your baby. I'm going to call your mama. I'll call your mama and tell her that you did this. I was wild. And then I calmed down and I was like, oh my God, imagine if I said that in front of our kids. Imagine if I said that in front of, that would be embarrassing. This would be, so you have to make sure that your emotions that rule your body, right? The brain, which is the compass that rules the body, that pulls the character, are in line. Otherwise, you're just a mad screaming idiot.
Right. I agree.
Thank you. I love it. Because basically that's standing firm on your morals, values, principles because of what was done to you. And that's why I was like, when you stop right there, it was like, well, once you found out, what would you do? I mean, what did you do? Because most people will work through certain
I
things.
ate your booty hole. If I
Stop,
ate your
stop,
booty hole
stop,
and doo-doo crumbs in your booty.
stop. I knew you was gonna come up with that bull crap. Once I realized that that name was in Chinese, I was like, oh my God, not again.
Japanese, I think.
Yeah, Japanese or one of them. I was like, yeah, I was hoping that he didn't go there or her, whatever. They young. But come on, Cheese.
Yo, so I'm just sending the live separately to other people I usually go in live with, and
Oh, thank you.
it's better engagement than that, because I really think it's a great conversation. I think Brian would be great in this conversation. So there's another, again, there's another creator, Brian, I went with, and one of our situations as a young black man, again, I said I'm 36 years old, which I'm not old. I'm so sorry for people calling me uncle. I am not an uncle yet. Wait until I'm 40. But in mentoring young black men, you realize that, yeah, there is this gap between exactly what business you're going to stand on or whether you're going to try to stand up for everything. Right? It's not a situation of, and the one biggest thing I have with my kids is I try to let them know that every feeling that you're feeling is a valid feeling. Everything that you're feeling is a valid feeling. How you react to that feeling, that's when I'm going to come for your ass. If you're in a situation where this feeling makes me feel like this, and then I act out like I want to fucking kill everybody, that's a problem.
Well, you gotta say unalive.
Sorry, unalive. That's a problem. We need to sit down. We need to talk about it. Because every feeling is valid. I do not want you to ignore a feeling. I don't want you to tell me this feeling is too horrible. People think this is a bad... No. Every feeling you're feeling is valid. How you react and how you respond to that feeling, that's where we are in the situation of, okay. And I always use the example of lying. You can come in a situation and I'll ask, hey, who didn't run their sprints? And I know the person didn't run the sprint because I have tags on these motherfuckers. I don't have a collar, but I have tags on them. I don't have a camera. I'm trying to install cameras to see who it runs, but as soon as I get the school permission, I'll get cameras. But I have tags to see who runs, right? They don't have to admit to say, oh, I didn't run, oh, I didn't ever run. But if a guy told me I didn't run for his teammate, beautiful. Nobody gets punished. You admitted it. You said, I didn't run. I didn't get up for my team. No one gets punished. Next week, I'm going to watch and make sure you run. If no one steps up, or somebody that actually did run steps up and tells me, oh, I ran for my teammate, everyone gets punished. Everyone does the run. This is to teach character. You see, the difference between a hardwood table without any scratches, right, brand new from the factory floor, and then a dining table, not a hardwood table, a hardwood dining table from the factory, no scratches, beautiful, elegant, you put that in your dining room, versus a hardwood table built by your own hands with all the scratches, all the years that you put into them. What's the difference? Character. Character is the ability to go up there and you own your mistakes. How do you build character? Character with those scratches in those dining tables. Every day that you wake up and you have coffee, you have breakfast, you have dinner, your family dinner together. That table builds character every single time you scratch into it. And I tell my kids, good character individuals are not unscratched.
Because they have to learn from their mistakes.
Exactly. Because they had to get that. They had to get that scratch in them. They had to build that character.
So if you want to be there, be the clean one, be the best one. Oh, you're not for me. I want me the dirty ones. I want me the ones that say, oh, you can't control, because I will let you know that those deep, dirty scratches in you, that's what makes you known.
Right.
That's what makes me know that you have overcome this. And then now you go, good moral compass. Well, if you have a good moral compass and you're in Florida right now, right? And you're in the mix of the YN battles, it doesn't matter if you're good for good moral compass. You're rocked into that. You're going pew pew whatever you want to pew pew. Even if you don't want to pew pew, you're going to do that. And the only out you have is someone with a good moral character that has been through that to say your compass is wrong. Don't focus it on you. Focus it on your family. This is not a joke.
Come on, keep talking, Cheese.
I really think a lot of times we miss it because we're trying to look for some kind of perfection. And I think that's a problem. Right now, from what I'm seeing, and I'm going to land on this one, is you really literally just time with your kids, time with this person,
Right.
And I'm gonna transition a bit from the kids part, because that's the thing that I was talking about, to the coupling part. Women, especially Black women,
Rapid Fire Time, sponsored by
you're with a partner, and you're with this partner for like this much of time, and they're saying, I'm doing this, it's not gonna change. Whether they're Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, it's not gonna change. So if you're looking there, women going, oh my God, this guy is a great moral compass. He's such a great guy, he's doing everything, but in his actions, I'm being treated like a kept wife. I'm being treated like I'm this. That's not a good man. That is not a good man. That's literally the definition of gaslighting.
Yeah, you need both.
And see, the point of the strong morals, Cheese, I have to look at myself, and that's what I wanted you to look at. You know, when we came up with this right here, I had to look at my morals, my values, and my principles in life, my standards. You know what I mean? And don't compromise them for anybody. And it took work to get to this point in my life. You know, just like I was listening to you. I was gonna say I can guarantee you don't talk as much as I do. But not only that, Cheese, I had to learn to listen, like you said too. So it's not just that I am a speaker, I am a talker. I had to learn to listen as well. Well, basically more than I can talk. You know what I mean? So I was waiting for you to go ahead and finish to say that, right? Because I admire that. But I had to look at me. And when I look at the moral compass, I look at my character. And what I do, Cheese, I always say I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. I am. Then I know there's a side of me that can be a rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit too, right? But for me, I try to allow the loving, caring side of me show up more. And I'm very, very particular, be honest with you, who I allow in my life. So these are some of the morals that we was talking about. Your standards in life, your values, your principles. I don't tolerate a lot of bull crap, you know, and straightforward. That's why over here we're a little bit different compared to some of your messy TikTok platforms. You know, um, sometimes I'll go over, but what I have a tendency of doing, and a lot of people don't like, Cheese, I share my personal experience. Now I'm from Baltimore City, so that's what I do anyway. But I share from a level of personal experience, something that I have been through and I was able to work out of it. But that's just to help encourage and motivate somebody else who might be stuck somewhere, you know, to let them know it's okay. This is what, if they come up and talk about certain things, this is what I was able to do to come up out of it and stay out of it a day at a time. So that's why I was trying to bring it back a little bit to let you know that it's okay. And when and the focus is when you come over here is to talk about life in general. It's just keeping life real. And I'm talking about what's going on in the here and now. You know, because we can go back, and I know you know Cheese, because I was listening to you. We can go back to Jim Crow. We can go back to you know, old days, olden time. But my whole goal with all that information that we know and you full of information or knowledge is what we do today, how we use it to help others overcome. You get me? Cheese. That's it.
Someone says it's not Seed Biscuit. Yeah, I was over here called Seed Biscuit once by Brian.
What does that even mean?
Well,
He
that's
Seed Biscuit, he got me Seed Biscuit, and I'm trying to bring over people from her crowd.
right.
I think this is gonna get. It's a good crosstalk conversation because I think Brian would have, and I've had a lot of conversations like this. And to answer your question, what does it mean? It means this. Like what I'm doing right now, trying to share the live, trying to put it out. I noticed, hey, this is a good conversation, and this is a conversation that I think should happen weekly, maybe daily, on your channel.
Yeah.
And we have a conversation about it. And let's get more people talking about it. So what is my actions to do it? So I'm going to put it out in live and doing the best. So let's take it back even to just like a mentorship on a football court. As recognizing, so sometimes I'll see a kid and they are amazing at what they do, but they suck.
Right.
Yeah, for real. I see some left tackles. I'm a defensive lineman coach, and
Right.
I coach defense because I play defense. But I'll see an offensive lineman where my boys are just beating up. So I'll be like, yo, line up against that guy. And they'll line up and then beat up in practice each time. So I go to the offensive lineman coach and I'm like, hey, that boy needs help. Not in the sense of like, he needs like, oh, kick, push it, help. Maybe he needs like somebody to be there in his corner to make him believe that, hey, I can do this. Because he's the size. Right? You see a kid who's like 6'8", 6'7", 300 pounds, and he can't push packs like a mouse. He can't push back. I call safeties mouses. Sorry. Safety is like 160. I don't know. You're a mouse. Like, you can't. Like, so if you can't push that, that's a mental thing. That's a mental thing. That's not a physical thing. Because your body is big. You're 6'8".
So I have a question. Would you say that a strong moral compass is more mental, a strong moral character is more physical? Like it's like body and mind.
These are not mutually exclusive things.
Mm-hmm.
It should never be treated as mutually exclusive things. Is my point. These are things that need to be in the same Venn diagram.
Yeah, interconnected.
Yeah, like in order to have one, you need the other, and that's why I kept giving examples. Like even if you're a nerd like me and you like Games of Thrones and you like the Knights of the Seven Kingdom, right? Duncan the Tall has a strong moral character. He doesn't have a strong moral compass because Duncan the Tall is a strong moral character. Went and he got. If you've read The Hedge Knight from,
I watched YouTube videos about it.
Anyway, that's not the show. But if anybody likes George R.R. Martin, the books like The Hedge Knight, Swan Sword, he wrote a bunch of novellas.
right? So I've read all the novellas. In the Hedge Knight novella, this is a story about, if you don't mind me spoiling it. If you mind me spoiling it, I'll go.
No, I mean, let's not spoil it in case somebody will.
Well, it's to me now. I'm gonna just say this, Cheese. When I hear people talk about like stories, right? They might go back to Star Wars or certain things to implement it into life today. It throws me really off because it takes me back to the time when I used to fantasize when I watched those things coming up, right? And
that's a whole entire point.
And wait a minute, and see, Valerie dropped. I guess she'll be back. But this is what gets me with a lot of us today, and I think that's our way. To be honest with you, is ducking reality, the reality of life. So we'll use movies like what is that? I don't want to say Star Wars, but I'm looking at the movie that Will Smith played in. Because I've been listening to a lot of people, be honest with you, on TikTok, kind of prepared. Not that one. It was him and somebody else. Where
Alien Earth.
Yeah, somewhere along that line. But look,
him and his boy, Alien Earth, him and his son.
yeah, no, not the Men in Black.
Alien Earth.
Wait a minute, hold. I'm sorry, because Money Hunter might be right. Honey might be right. Yeah, the Men in Black. Well, it's like Galactic. The word I'm trying to use is galaxy stuff, right? And when I hear people doing it, lately, Cheese, it just reminds me when I was younger and I used to fantasize. And I'm looking at how now when I hear people go back to certain movies and then compare certain things to life today, and I'm like, wow. Wait a minute, I'm trying to get my words. It's not coming out right, but I just want you to catch
it. You should feel like that, though.
You
should feel like that. So, for example, the idea of Superman was a Jewish guy writing a thing about being more prevalent in his society, other than just being a writer or being looked at as a writer, but actually being the thing that oppressed him, the Uberman. So remember, Germany in all of the Holocaust were killing people based on the Aryan race.
Yeah, we got to watch certain language.
I apologize.
Because they're going
those things that happened in 1945 were because of like superior race, right? Not the Great War. The Great War is very different from World War II. So this is we're specifically talking about World War II. So when you're talking about World War II and the Ubermensch and the German Ubermensch, Superman, the people that were most persecuted were the Jewish. Then you fast forward to America in New York at that time. Most people that were writing for the magazines were Jewish. So when you introduce a Superman, right, who is a writer by day, also Superman by night, it's literally a trope for people that are down in franchise. It's literally like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby said this. It's literally inverting the Ubermensch on the idea. So all of these characters were written by people that were downtrodden and had a strong moral compass, but they didn't have anything to push that moral compass in their time. So in their zeitgeist, they wrote it. So when you read a lot of black comic book characters, those are black comic book writers. Those are individuals they're geeks, they're nerds. They're people that did the same thing that Jack